The 2K Sports pregame show, presented by Sprite.
Hey everybody, welcome to 2K Sports. I'm your host, Ernie Johnson, joined by the Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal. Tonight, it'll be the Atlanta Hawks going up against the Los Angeles Lakers. And for Los Angeles, they probably hoped they'd be in a little better shape after 10 games than where they actually are at 4-6. That's not quite what they had in mind coming into the year. Boy, the Hawks have some big bodies along that front line, Shaq. How do you keep them from dominating the paint?
Well, you have to collapse down. You got to show double. You got to be real aggressive, especially on your rotations. You can't let them get too deep inside on you, Ernie.
Truer words never spoken. Let's turn it over to Kevin Harlan.
Thinking, dreaming, scheming, reading, all in the late night, shaking, boiling, lacing, baking, shaping, shaving. Gotta get this cake right as I serve it. You just burn it, breathe it, learn it. Now watch you take flight. How does it feel?
Hello, basketball fans. You've got it on 2K Sports as we get set to bring you an exciting NBA basketball game. This is Kevin Harlan with Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg and our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. It's the first game back in Atlanta for the Hawks, and this is the first season matchup for them against the Lakers team. A year ago, they each gained a victory at home, but couldn't secure a win on the road.
And, you know, this is a team you want to capitalize on when you play them, but that wasn't the case last year. They split 2 games.
We've got a chance here to set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this one. Taking a look at Los Angeles, Lynn and Kobe are your 1 and your 2. Davis is out there with Hill, and it's Young in at the small forward. And that's out of bounds. The Lakers will retain possession. And to touch on Steve's point real quick, I'll bet they consider that game they lost to them to be, you know, the one that got away.
And I would think there's no doubt they're going to be looking to rectify that and sweep them this time around.
And here is Los Angeles now. Drills it from outside. Young's got the first bucket of the game with the 3 for the Lakers. Looking at the last game for the Atlanta Hawks, it was a loss to the Cavaliers in Cleveland.
Yeah, and given how they performed offensively that day, guys, they really had no chance.
Yeah, and the frustration just mounted. You could see it as they continued to come up empty. And by the end, they were really just happy to get out of there and have the game be over.
Now here's Teague, just 3 to shoot. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
Really tough to get that shot off with the size differential there. That's not an individual matchup he's going to win every time, especially in the post.
Very well done. I didn't think he had any business operating down there with the big fellas.
And Kobe gets it to go. Here in the first, a little over a minute played so far.
A lot of praise has been sent Kobe's way over the years, but perhaps one of the biggest I heard last season was when Grant Hill called him the toughest person he ever had to guard.
Here's Teague. Pass to Korver. Here's Horford. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. And Clark, that may not seem too out of the ordinary, but you look at all the stars that Grant Hill faced during his career, and there are a lot of big names on that list.
Yes, Hill certainly had a large collection of superstar wings to choose from, but it's hard to argue against this selection of Kobe Bryant.
The Hawks shooting their first free throws of the game. Free throw good, Horford.
Al Horford, 6'10", 250, really a natural power forward who's been asked to play at center for his whole career. He's shown himself willing to battle bigger players inside, but you got to think he'd welcome a chance to switch back to the 4 spot.
And Al Horford drops them both.
And for Horford, able to scrap inside to overcome his lack of size defensively, his quickness is his biggest advantage. I mean, he's excellent at moving in space and defending the pick and roll.
About a minute and a half through the first quarter. And a chance now to go over to Doris Burke, who had a chance to talk with head coach Mike Budenholzer.
Obviously he has a lot on his plate when it comes to defending against Kobe Bryant. I asked him what he might do, and he said not much. He's one of the league's all-time best scorers, and no matter what you seem to do, he finds ways to get on the scoreboard. Kobe might be seeing a lot of double teams here tonight, guys.
All right, Doris, thank you very much. We're talking about Horford's advantages playing center. Certainly his offensive skill set among those advantages.
Yeah, and an excellent mid-range jump shooter and ball handler. He can face up, he can draw opposing bigs further out than they'd like, but he's also strong enough and quick enough to get past them and get to the rim.
Here is Korver following the basket by Kobe Bryant. Korver kicks to Millsap. 6 on the shot clock. Lynn against T. No luck, and the Lakers going the other way now. They come in fresh off a win against the Warriors.
Well, Kevin, they constructed a perfect offensive game plan going into that game, and it was quickly apparent how powerless the defense was to stop it.
Powerless is a good way to put it, Steve. We're unlikely to see that many uncontested baskets again anytime soon.
Here is Korver after Jordan Hill's bucket. Korver passes to Millsap. Teague with the ball, and it's Lynn picking him up. Teague dishes to Korver. Passes it to Millsap. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
Well, Paul Millsap has said he doesn't feel undersized anymore with the way the league is going, but more emphasis now on spreading the floor, so Millsap fits in easier. He can always find somebody to guard.
And for Millsap, frankly, his height has really never been an issue. I mean, this is a guy who was a big-time rebounder throughout his days in college. But even though he's only 6'7", that 7-foot wingspan helps, and he's strong enough to hold his own with most forwards in the league.
No question, guys, that Millsap can rebound and defend the power forward position with the best of them.
Yeah, you remember he led the NCAA in rebounding all 3 of his seasons at Louisiana Tech. So this guy has a nose for the ball.
Randall's checked in for Jordan Hill. Second free throw, no good.
Last season, there were a handful of teams jockeying for that final playoff spot in the East, and the Hawks were right there in the middle of it and ended up snagging the 8th seed and then scared the Pacers in round 1.
Pretty bad defense, letting the offense get right to the rim, but smart play to foul once he was there.
But you know what's going to happen, and they sent a message right there. Nothing easy inside.
And although the Hawks would end up being the only sub-500 team to make the playoffs, they put on quite a show when they got there.
And the first one drops. Well, Atlanta was able to push Indiana to 7 games before falling out of the playoffs. Certainly proved they deserve to be there.
And they did it without being at full strength, Kevin. I mean, Al Horford was out most of the season with that torn pectoral muscle, and just to be able to put up that kind of fight against Indiana was a comfortable matchup for the Hawks. Shooting threes, spreading the floor, playing small ball, and they gave Indiana all they wanted and then some. Jeremy Lin is a bit of a scoring point guard. He's best with the ball in his hands, but not necessarily an elite scorer playmaker. He's trying to broaden out his game so he can play off the ball as well.
For Los Angeles, they've gone 4 of 5 from the field so far. He dishes it to Young. Back to Lin. Right side, Kobe lets the 3 fly. It's rebounded by Paul Millsap.
And to become better playing off the ball, Jeremy Lin has to improve as a spot-up shooter. He's actually been shooting better off the dribble, but the catch and shoot is something he'll continue to work on. Looks like he might be on his game today, Clark.
LA's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. And Young, here we go. Shot left block. Here's Randall. Soft touch off the glass. And Jeremy Lin working with the shooting coach, Clark, to develop his outside shot.
Yeah, he's actually tweaked his release to get the ball off more quickly on his way up. He's still below average in long range, but you know he's going to put the work in.
Well, Clark, we've seen the lead change hands quite a bit in this one.
Yeah, we sure have. I mean, it's been a bit of a windshield wiper game. I mean, back and forth, the lead has gone 5 times, so no one in clear control yet.
I think both teams feel like they can win. They both have confidence. So we'll see which team can kind of ride the momentum and take control of this game.
So timeout called here, the first for Los Angeles.
Well, the Lakers were coming into the season with only about $11 million in salary committed, a chance to attract 2 max free agents, but then they gave Kobe Bryant that 2-year, $50 million extension. So that seems to possibly postpone the rebuild that the Lakers have by maybe 2 more years.
Now here's Allen. Last game we saw him score 13. 1:29 left in the first quarter of the game. And the basket good. A minute 20 left to play here in the first. Here's Mack, defended by Nash. In Atlanta again with the bucket.
Yeah, they have to mix it up defensively. That was just too easy.
1:04 left to play in the first quarter. Pass to Allen. Nice ball movement here by the Lakers. And stolen by Scott. It's stolen by Davis. And good on the basket. Book it. Davis has got his first points in this one.
The lead changes hands once again. There has been no separation between these two teams tonight.
What an intriguing basketball game, that's for sure.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Steve Nash. That's his first foul.
14 foul.
.40 seconds left to play here in the first. Mack, good. Marky talked about a back-and-forth game. This is the definition of that.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Kevin. I mean, not even through the first half, and it's been one heck of a battle.
Well, these are the kinds of games you love. I mean, 2 good teams going head-to-head in an even matchup, and both sides very competitive, on their toes tonight.
Nash's shot is in.
They really can't allow him too many open looks like that. I mean, that's just inviting trouble.
Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Here's Scott. And Matt kicks to Scott. The feed to Cephalosha. And the pass to Bazemore. Here's Brand. And even after 2 offensive rebounds, they just can't get the lid off. Out of bounds, Atlanta takes possession.
I tell you what, that's just a major unforced error right there, guys. My goodness.
Well, it's been a high-scoring competitive game through the first quarter of play. Lakers lead by 2. 2K Sports back in a moment here at Phillips Arena in Atlanta.
Next Sunday, November 23rd, Stephen Curry and the Golden State Warriors go up against Russell Westbrook and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Live from Oklahoma City, big-time hoops coming your way.
Well, up to this point, a closely contested game as we start the second quarter. And taking a look at Los Angeles' performance here, Clark and Steve, what have they been doing or not doing?
Yeah, a good start for this club. I like the way they played together, really moved the ball and did a nice job offensively.
Yeah, excellent ball movement, and it's paid off on the scoreboard, too.
Here's Teague. Teague and Korver in the backcourt. Mike Scott out there with Kent Bazemore. And it's Brand in at the 5, roaming the paint. So that's the lineup for Atlanta.
Hawks coach Mike Budenholzer grew up around the game. His father coached high school and college basketball for 25 years, and Mike got into coaching pretty much immediately after graduating from college. Sounded like a guy who knew what he wanted to do.
Here's Allen after the made shot from Jeff Teague. Offensive rebound. Tries again. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Well, at least the defender got his money's worth on that one.
Yep, that was an easy whistle for the official.
The Lakers have gone 2 for 2 in the game at the line. Free throw drops for Hill. And Coach Budenholzer, two-sport athlete at Pomona, golf and basketball, also graduated with a triple major in politics, philosophy, and economics. It sounds just like you at Arizona.
Similar, only different. But, you know, shortly after college, Budenholzer actually took over as the video coordinator for the Spurs, and that's where his career took off. He ended up spending 19 seasons alongside Greg Popovich, winning 4 titles, and now here he is coaching the Atlanta Hawks.
Morrow, the pass to Bryant. That's good. Kobe's got 6.
There it is again. On a lot of their possessions this first half, they've established great position inside.
Yeah, getting the ball into the post should be their first option every time down. Force the defense to adapt and adjust.
Here is Korver. 14 points from him the last game against the Cavaliers in Cleveland.
He was exquisite in that game, Kevin. It wasn't just the scoring, it was the passing, too. And his teammates, you could tell, were just really enjoying playing with him.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Doris Burke. Hey, Doris.
Guys, Ray Allen, now in his 19th season in the league, is still going strong. As former teammate Shane Battier said, he's the most disciplined guy I've ever played with. He's borderline psychotic when it comes to his regimen. That extends to his diet. No sugar, no carbs, no red meat. And guys, Allen managing every detail to prepare himself for action.
He's taking it to the next level, Doris. Thanks.
Jeremy Lin, really an attack guard. Quick and aggressive, always looking to penetrate and get into the paint. That's an easy shot there. That's a shot that he should make more often than not.
Out to the right wing. Morrow dishes to Bryant. Lin kicks to Morrow. Some nice passing here by Los Angeles. Just 5 on the clock. And the foul called on Paul Millsap. That's his first foul.
And Lin has really become an explosive athlete. He's put in a lot of work during the offseason to develop his strength and acceleration. On a different level now than when he entered the league out of Harvard, for sure.
Looking at who's out there now for the Lakers. Ed Davis is checked in for Randall, and Nick Young is subbed in for Anthony Morrow.
Boy, beautiful assist. That's a couple of teammates clearly on the same page.
The Hawks trail by 6. And for Lin, like a lot of slashers, Steve, turnovers have been an issue.
Yeah, that aggressiveness can work against him where sometimes he over-penetrates. He's watching a lot of film, trying to learn that balance of when to pass and when to take it all the way to the rim.
Now here's Teague. 4 on the clock. That's good. Korver's got his second bucket tonight.
Boy, I tell you what, he loves getting looks like that from the three-point line. No one near him. That's a warm-up jumper for him.
Lin kicks to Davis. In low to Hill. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass.
Boy, they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing that ball into the paint. Smash mouth basketball.
Yeah, and it's a strategy that has served them well in this opening half, Clark.
Here's Bazemore. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Cleveland.
Beautiful job angling his body, shielding the big man from the ball on his way to the basket.
That's really the only way to do it if you're going to take it down there amongst the tall trees.
Now here's Lin. He has 7. Hill. The basket good off the assist from Lin. 7 points for Hill.
That's their third straight make off an assist.
Boy, the ball movement's been fantastic here the last few possessions.
And here's Korver from the arc. Another 3 for Atlanta.
It took him a little while to get into the flow of this game, but now he's definitely found his stride and rhythm.
Los Angeles calls timeout.
Kyle Korver really keeps his defender busy. He's great at running off screens, and that's where he gets a lot of his shots. And even when he doesn't get the ball, he occupies the defense, which is so important for his team.
Tavo Cephalosha is checked in for Atlanta. And then for Los Angeles, Ellington comes in for Kobe. And it's Clarkson in for Jeremy Lin. The Lakers have gone 5 of 7 from the field here in the second. And Korver really trains so that he can sustain that energy moving off the ball.
That's one of the more impressive things about it. Not only his quick release, but the work he does prior to getting loose for those shots. It takes an awful lot of endurance, stamina, and mental toughness, Kevin.
T kicks to Cephalosha. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Jordan Hill. That's his third foul of the game.
Already he's looking at his third foul. I think the coach will probably look to sit him down until the third quarter.
Mike Scott's checked in for the Hawks. Shelvin Mack comes in for Kyle Korver. 1:53 left here in the second. That evens the score. 6 points for Teague.
He had his choice of finishing moves there, and you just got to love the fact he went old school with the finger roll.
Young passes to Clarkson. To the paint. It's deflected and stolen by Horford. Here's Cephalosha, rejected by Young. Here's Clarkson. That's in there. Davis with the assist. Clarkson's got 5 points so far.
Boy, such outstanding patience and decision-making for them offensively.
Yeah, absolutely. Their ball movement has been outstanding. They are piling up the assists.
Now here is Cephalosha. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. Shot is good, and the Los Angeles leads cut down to just 1 on the basket from Horford. LA has gone 4-6 from outside the arc tonight. Clarkson kicks to Hill. Pass to Clarkson. There's the dish to Ellington. He feeds it to Hill. Lets a floater go, and the officials call a traveling violation. While we have a break in the action, now let's check out the league's best shooting teams. Number 5, the Hawks.
Well, they're so patient at the offensive end. They don't take bad shots. They really look to move the ball and find the best shot they can every possession.
For Atlanta, they've gone 7 for 10 here in the second quarter. They'd like to keep up that nice pace. Here's Teague, blocked, and they're able to recover. Right side Teague. Here's Cephalosha, and there's the feed to Horford. The layup missed.
Well, the effort was there, but he just couldn't quite fight his way through traffic.
Ellington dishes to Hill. And the layup is good. Ellington's got his first basket of the night.
You know, they'll want to generate more of those shots in tight, guys.
The Hawks trail by 3. Outside Teague. He kicks to Horford. And the Hawks getting another basket right there.
Such a difficult shot to defend, that turnaround.
7 seconds left in the first half. Here's Clarkson. And we're through 2 here and a good one. Lakers ahead. They're up by 1. And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Kobe, what encourages you in what you've seen from the team's offense?
We're playing hard. Our bigs are really working tonight. They're really running the floor well. They're rolling to the basket with a purpose.
Kobe, appreciate the time as always. Gentlemen?
Thank you, Doris, for that interview, and we'll see you back here after the break for the third quarter of basketball. Welcome back, everyone. The second half about to get underway, and it's been a close one so far. Atlanta's gone 3 of 3 from three-point land here tonight. So the Lakers 5 right now. Lynn and Kobe are your 1 and your 2. Hill is out there with Davis, and it's Young in at the 3 side. Korver, no luck.
A lot of big things happened for Kyle Korver last year, but the one that sticks out in my mind is that he was able to tie and then break the record of 90 consecutive games with a made three-pointer. Says a lot about him as a player, his work ethic, and his consistency.
The Hawks trail by 4. This is to Horford. Teague with a clean look. And the call will be against Al Horford. That is his first foul of the game.
Yeah, that was kind of clumsy looking. He was not going to get away with that.
He climbed all over him like he was on the ladder. I mean, that's an easy over-the-back call there.
Here is Lynn. 7 points in the game. Let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, what do you have?
Well, Kevin, the Atlanta Hawks, a team that looks to spread the floor with shooting. Coach Mike Budenholzer said, we don't want to just be a three-point shooting team. We want to get to the rim first. By creating that space, we give our guards and our bigs a chance to attack. If the paint is taken away, we'll look for our shooters. Good strategy, Kevin.
Coach Bud coming from San Antonio, Doris. The Hawks trying to create that same kind of spacing. And Young kicks to Bryant. Right side, Lynn goes up on the block. That's good, and it's Bryant with the assist. And it's an 8-point Laker lead.
They've been good on all 3 of their shots since coming out of the locker room at the break.
Clark, they've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a little bit of cottonmouth here. Dry spell for sure. Maybe with that, the lid on this basket will be lifted for them.
For Los Angeles, they've gone 3 of 3 from the field since halftime. Beyond the arc. And another 3 for the Lakers.
He's played an important role in their offense today, guys. Without him, they may not be in the league. You know, the issue really with Atlanta this year and moving forward isn't that they're a bad team. They've just been kind of stuck in that middle road of mediocrity. They're competitive, play hard. They're hoping to find a way to get to the next level now.
And with Atlanta, as you said, for a while now they've been a playoff caliber team, but making that next step into the elite class of the East has been hard.
The first free throw is good. And some of it, Clark, for Atlanta making the jump is personnel. It's never easy to get a franchise player without a high draft pick.
And in that sense, Kevin, they are a bit in danger of becoming a treadmill team, but they have a good base right now, and I think they just need to continue to keep adding talent and have the talent they have continue to develop.
So after making the first, he goes 1 for 2. The Los Angeles Lakers, the NBA's most successful franchise over the last 3 decades, since 1980. 10, guys, count them, 10 titles.
That's remarkable, and they've led the way from a business standpoint as well, Kevin. They pioneered televising their home games where some teams have worried about undercutting ticket sales. A lot of great ideas and dynamics that have helped this franchise become what it is.
And now the first timeout called here for the Hawks.
And, you know, for the Lakers, no competition from football. There's not a pro football team in the L.A. market. It's one of the top 2 markets in the country, and it is a basketball town. You look at their TV deal, which is really mind-boggling. It's worth about $3.6 billion over 20 years. So that gives you a lot of financial firepower there.
And with this break, let's bring up the list of the dominant rookie rebounders in the NBA this season. 4th, Julius Randle.
Well, rebounding is an aspect of his game that is already so well developed, and very few of the rookies can compete with him in that regard.
Well, the ability to rebound always travels well in the NBA, and at this point, we can say with certainty, physically, this league won't be a problem at all for him.
A little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the 3rd.
Well, guys, you look at the financial resources for the Lakers, not the same advantage that it once was, because with the most recent CBA, it's really restricted spending. And the question is, how will that impact the Lakers moving forward?
That's good.
Excellent ball movement there, guys.
Yeah, I think that's what's keyed this run, Clark, because they're keeping the ball moving. The defense hasn't been able to set up.
Now here's Teague. 8 points for him. And that one's good. Teague's got 4 this quarter.
You know, if you were only looking at the way he's played offensively, you'd think his team would be ahead.
to the inside. Out of bounds, Atlanta takes possession.
And while we have a chance, let's check out some stats for Paul Millsap. Second in field goal percentage, and he's number 3 in the league at three-point field goal shooting, so he has really been on fire.
And let's look at his phenomenal field goal percentage again, Steve. I mean, that's really a function of good teammates, a good system, but most of it is just taking good shots and making most of them.
Kent Bazemore's checked in for Atlanta. Nash is checked in for the Lakers. Here's Teague. Hill pulls it in. Hill's got his 8th rebound here tonight. And that one goes in as he is fouled. It'll be 3 points if he converts at the line.
Boy, what a nice third-quarter surge they've got going on right now.
You know, Steve, never a better time than the third quarter in my mind to get the momentum going your way.
A lot of times when a great player hangs it up, they take some time to find themselves or just relax. But Kobe said last season that he wants to stay heavily involved in the NBA when his playing days are over. Not a huge surprise if you think about just how competitive he is.
And Clark, for Kobe in his post-playing career, you have to think he would like to stay involved with the Lakers on some level, given that he has spent his whole career, really his most formative years with the organization.
You know, that could be true, Kevin, from a front office standpoint, but if he wants to try his hand at coaching, he might have to be open to moving around for a little bit.
The Hawks trail by 13. Here is Korver. He's got 9. And Millsap, here we go. There's the bucket. Good. Millsap's got his 3rd basket of the night.
Tell you what, he is so difficult to guard, especially on a shot like that one.
And here's Los Angeles. They're on a 17-7 run. Randall passes to Kobe for 3. Count that one. Kobe's got 18 points in the game.
And assists like that have typified their effort today. Great ball movement.
Really an example of the difference in how these teams have operated offensively. Much more individual play at the other end.
Here is Korver. Lets it go from 11. Feeds it to Bazemore. They get a hand on it. Out of bounds. Hawks ball as Atlanta keeps possession. Here we are in November. Let's see how things are shaking out in the West early in the season. Look at Oklahoma City. Things going their way so far in this season. Right now, they lead the pack up front in the first spot with the best record. And, of course, there's Los Angeles. Not really any threat right now as their record's showing a lot more losses.
Seeing where the Lakers are, they've actually been right about where you'd expect them to be, guys. Right in the middle of the pack. Kind of average.
And that can be a tricky place for franchises. Not really a contender, but often without the draft picks to make a big leap. It'll be interesting to see if and how they manage to break through.
Here's Allen after the made shot from Jeff Teague. Here's Nash, and he gets it to go. Nash has got 5 now.
4 of their last 5 makes came off of a high-quality shot inside.
Yeah, that's textbook basketball, just having their way down low.
Now here's Teague, 12 points for him. Here's Brand, and the layup's good off the glass. Brand's got his first points in this one.
You know, that putback's about as easy as it's going to get. You have to put a body on someone down there.
Well, no box out, that's the result you get right there.
Here's Nash, 5 points in the game. And it's Bryant in the corner. Good, and the assist goes to Nash. Bryant's got the lead up to 14 now for Los Angeles. There's a 4-second difference from the shot clock to the game clock. Here's Teague. Lays it up and banks it in. Teague's got 8 points in the quarter.
You can see that they're not as aggressive from the three-point arc. They had far more attempts in the first half.
Lakers leading by 12. Now Nash. Outside, Kobe. Kicks to Hill. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. That one is on Brand.
Easy call there.
No question about that one. You could hear the impact from where I am.
The Lakers have only 1 missed free throw. They've had 5 attempts and made 4 of them.
And as a team, they're shooting about 75% on the year.
He's off on the first. So both teams making some changes here. And he can't get the second one to drop either. Coming up empty that time. Here's Bazemore. No good there, and that would have cut it to single digits. Well, through 3/4 of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. Lakers lead by 12. And when we return, we'll get the fourth quarter rolling right here on 2K Sports.
NBA season is in full swing. Chris Paul and the Los Angeles Clippers take on Marc Gasol and the Memphis Grizzlies. It's the NBA next Sunday.
And it's time now to reveal our State Farm assist of the game. Today, Steve, it's a big man winning the honor.
And it was a no-brainer. This assist was really out of this world. I mean, he had a great understanding of the situation and where the ball had to go.
Lakers leading by 12. Muscala is out there with Horford. Then there's Scott. Then it's Thabo Sefolosha. And it's Mack in at the point guard position. So that's the lineup for Atlanta.
Well, it's the edge they've had in that area on the glass that's played a big role in this game.
Yeah, they've got some strong guys, Steve. Guys that are strong and well put together, and they've used that strength to their advantage down low.
And it's out of bounds for the Hawks as Atlanta retains possession. Atlanta making some changes. Kyle Korver, he's checked in for Muscala, and it's Teague in for Mack. That's a 2 from Korver. Morrow with the rebound.
And the defense got away with a major lapse there.
And Young kicks to Clarkson. Terrific assist, a nice finish. Solid play all around.
Yeah, he didn't have to slow down at all, guys. Just perfectly timed pass there.
Outside T. Down low. And the layup's good off the glass. T's got 10 points in just the second half.
Now, he's one of the best in the league when it comes to executing that lead pass.
Pass to Davis. Outside, Lynn. Pass to Clarkson. Trying to find Davis. He's got it now.
The Atlanta Hawks with relatively new leadership in the front office. The team is going in more of an analytic direction. Head coach Mike Budenholzer from his time in San Antonio certainly well-versed in that approach as well.
All right, we'll take a look now at how the points have been generated so far. A scoring breakdown for Los Angeles.
Guys, the passing we've seen from them has been tremendous. Very unselfish.
And how about the touch they've displayed from long range, guys? I mean, as a team, they are really shooting the ball well and executing from the perimeter.
Randall's checked in for the Lakers. Ellington comes in for Clarkson. And he sinks the second. The Hawks trail by 15. Atlanta calls timeout. And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
Hi, guys. I had a chance to find out what Mike Budenholzer was discussing with his guys. He let his players know that they've got to do a better job on defense. He said they're scoring any way they want. We've got to show some pride here. Let's make a stand defensively, get us stops, and get on a run of our own. Do they have it in them, Kevin?
Always great to hear from you, Doris. Korver kicks to T. And so it looks like the Hawks will retain possession here. We've gone about a minute and a half into the fourth quarter. No good from outside. Lakers leading by 15. Puts up the baby hook. The shot is good off the backboard.
Boy, they've been so sound offensively in the second half. I love the way they're playing.
Yeah, there's really no comparison in the shooting percentages between the teams since the break.
Clark, they've been looking out of sync offensively.
You know what? A basket here would do a lot for their confidence.
He dishes it to Korver. And that comes off the assist by Jeff Teague. Teague's got 6 assists now in the game.
Well, for one, he hasn't let them down. I mean, but a few other guys need to pick up the pace if they're going to be good.
Lynn kicks to Young. Tipped away. And it's out of bounds. The Lakers able to retain possession here. And the Hawks making a change here. Millsap's checked in. Kobe's checked in for Los Angeles. Just under 2.5 minutes gone here in the final quarter. Here's Davis. Horford with the rebound. Horford's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. To the middle. Here's Cephalosha. Got it. Good job in the low post. Los Angeles leading by 13. Millsap with the steal. And here's the fast break. Cephalosha leading the way. Some solid defense there from Lynn. LA has gone 7 of 9 on 3-pointers tonight. Outstanding mark from long range.
Boy, how's that for a quick possession?
Yeah, it sure was. I mean, he didn't waste any time getting down the court, did he?
The Hawks have gone 3 of 7 from the floor in the fourth. That's a 42% mark in the quarter. Here is Korver, defended by Bryant. Launches a 3. The rebound by Young.
Defense better watch out. They better be alert because this guy can make threes, as we saw in the first half.
And the shot is good.
Wow, such a steady hand. He's the one responsible for getting them this late lead.
Can't argue with that at all, Steve. His shooting percentage has been off the charts.
The Hawks working the ball around. And here's Cephalosha for 3. Atlanta again missing. For Los Angeles, they've gone 5 of 7 from the field since the beginning of the fourth. Strong work at that end of the floor. Randall with the bucket.
They're playing with a purpose, guys. The big lead becoming bigger. I like the look in their eyes.
And it's on both ends that they've been controlling the action.
Time called here. The Hawks decide to talk it over.
Julius Randle had a great freshman season at Kentucky. Amazingly consistent and dominant at times. But he still saw his stock fall a little bit. Concerns about his lack of length. He struggled at times to finish oversized. He didn't come up with a great number of steals or block shots. The question is, will he be undersized or a defensive liability at the pro level? We'll see, but I think he's going to be a productive pro.
Hill is checked in for Los Angeles. Outside Teague. Over to the wing. Korver kicks to Teague. Atlanta again missing. And Randall struggled at times to finish over length. The low rate of steals and blocks, will he be undersized or a defensive liability at the pro level? That's been the question.
I don't have the answer to that, but it's certainly a good question. I mean, teams like their bigs to do 4 things: defend the rim, space the floor, rebound, and score inside. We know Randall can handle the last 2. Time will tell if he can get things done in the former 2.
6 to shoot. Here's Millsap. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Paul Millsap is one of the most versatile forwards in the game, a natural power forward, but he brings some small forward qualities as well. He's a heck of a player, and he's developed that 3-point shot to round out his game.
And Millsap able to score facing up or with his back to the basket.
Yeah, inside and out. Reversible clothing is Paul Millsap, and he's a handful. Now, he's an undersized 4, but he can make the 3. He's physical. He can get to the line. He's got a number of crafty shots. This guy is really, really underrated as a player.
These 2K Blazers we wear, they're reversible. you didn't know that, did you? Huh?
Not until just now.
Here's what Atlanta's going with right now. Eldon Brand's checked in for Horford. Muscala comes in for Cephalosha. Kent Bazemore's checked in for Kyle Korver. And Max subbed in for Jeff Teague.
And guys, the league has taken some steps to pick up the pace of the game. Over the last decade, we've seen a lot of rule changes with hand checks and zone defenses and tightening up flagrant foul rules and physical play in general.
And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. And back to that move by the league to speed up the game. It doesn't seem like the league is done.
Yeah, you know, and I think more can be done, Kevin. Cutting down on timeouts. You see in soccer, they just run a little sponsor banner in the corner of the screen while the ball is in play. Continuous play. Continuous play. Reduce the number of free throws, I think, is another step, but that would be more a result of not fouling than teams not getting to the line.
He's off on the first.
Well, they just can't seem to get it right from the line here. Yet they're still on top, but that poor free throw shooting could come back to haunt them.
The Hawks making a switch here. Carroll's checked in. And the second free throw, good. Atlanta calls timeout. They trail by 18. 1:11 left here in the fourth quarter.
The second verse is dedicated to the man concerned with his rims and his Timbs and his women.
And this is what they wanted, to announce their presence in this matchup with authority. Very decisive. And I think it can be considered a statement win for the Lakers.
Clark, look at their number of assists.
Well, they minimized the one-on-one situations, Kevin. They got the ball moving, and it found the open guy.
Great ball movement, you're right. And it'll mark their 4th win on the year, actually their 5th win on the year.
Well, one thing about this win, it assures that they will not lose the season series. They only meet once more, of course, as interconference opponents.
And, Steve, when it is just a 2-game season series, the team winning game 1 has a bit of an edge going into the second meeting, knowing they've already solved their opponent one time and only have to do it once more.
And what a huge standout performance it was for Kobe Bryant. Now, there wasn't much they could do to slow him down as he was converting every opportunity he got.
And he gets the bucket.
Sharp pass to give his teammate the high percentage shot in close.
Clark, if they want to, they can milk the clock just a little bit here.
Amen. I think that's the best option.
Morrow, that's a 2-pointer. Nice shot from the wing.
Well, the fans already heading for the exits, clearly not pleased with the way their home team played here today.
And they shouldn't be pleased. I mean, it's a very well-deserved win, Steve. They came into this building and weren't intimidated at all. They were the aggressors.
And Bazemore kicks to Carroll. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. Mack, no luck. Ellington with it. The feed to Morrow. Ellington kicks to McGarry. Lays it up and banks it in.
Boy, they're extending their lead. It kind of feels like they're just piling on here as we come to an end.
Well, hey, let's just call it what it is. They are trying to run it up on them.
And so it's the Lakers taking care of business here. You know, Clark, every team has a bad night, and these guys might want to watch the tape of this game the next time they have a bad night to remind themselves how dominant they can be.
Well, this is one of those dreamlike games for a coach.
And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke, standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Kevin, I'm here with Steve Nash. Going into tonight's game, you were facing a huge challenge going up against one of the best teams in the NBA right now. How good does it feel to get this one?
I think it's a great lesson for all of our young guys about building a team, trying to figure out combinations and sticking together and continuing to play and finding a way to make it work, even though, you know, teams might have better rosters. You know, we found a way to be resilient and we played pretty good basketball.
Steve, we appreciate the time. Kevin?
Doris, thank you. And for Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke, and the rest of our great 2K Sports crew. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for joining us as Jordan presents our player of the game, Kobe Bryant.